with today's Motivational Monday. So, we've just ended a wonderful 15 days of Chinese New Year celebrations, which is a tradition and a ritual practiced all around the world. Today, I want to do a refresher on a very common word, habit. A habit is actually like a ritual, something that is repeated, but repeated daily, not annually or on special occasions. Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Now, habits is not a new topic on Motivational Monday. Way back in June 2020, wow, that's almost 5 years ago, we did Motivational Monday number 7 to number 15 on Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is one of the most influential self-help and business books of all time. Since its publication in 1989, it has sold over 40 million copies worldwide and has been translated into over 50 languages. I believe some of you, like Hui Xuan, when she was with URA, actually went through a course on how to be a trainer of the 7 habits. So today I want to share 5 points about habits using the mnemonic habit, H-A-B-I-T. So the first H is about habit. Let's talk about habits. And the best explanation of the power of habits is in scroll 1 of The Greatest Salesman in the World by Mandino. Here, I understood that habits can free me or enslave me. Okay, habits can free you or enslave you. The scroll says, I have surrendered my free will to the years of accumulated habits, and the past deeds of my life have already marked out a path which threatens to imprison my future. Not just habits, okay, but good habits. The only difference between those who have failed and those who have succeeded lies in the difference of their habits. Good habits are the key to all success. Bad habits are the unlocked door to failure. Thus, the first law I will obey, which precedeth all others, is I will form good habits and become their slave. And what does he say about habits? Soon these actions and reactions will become easy to perform, for any act with practice becomes easy. Wow, I really like that, okay? Becomes easy. And at the end, the scroll reminds us that the few moments spent each day on this new habit are but a small price to pay for the happiness and success that will be mine. And of course, he's talking about the habit of reviewing through the 10 scrolls. Okay, the 10 scrolls are actually 10 habits of a very, very successful salesman that will make you the greatest salesman in the world. Okay, the few moments spent each day on this new habit are but a small price to pay for the happiness and success that will be mine. So that was H for habit. Okay, now A is for ability. As we heard, practice makes perfect. The author Malcolm Gladwell talks about 10,000 hours to mastery in his book Outliers, the Story of Success. And true enough, the scrolls, it said soon these actions and reactions will become easy to perform, for any act with practice becomes easy. Let me give you an example, okay, of my pull-ups. When people ask me what exercise I do, I'm almost embarrassed to say that I just do maybe, just over a dozen pull-ups twice a day. It really doesn't mean much. The guy who does my massage, Andy, when he was in NS, he can do 80 pull-ups, okay? So what is, it's hardly anything, my pull-ups. But anyway, I asked ChatGPT, how many pull-ups a 70-year-old man is expected to do? And this is what ChatGPT said. Well, the general expectations are that an untrained or sedentary person will do 0 to 1 pull-up. If you're moderately active, you'll be able to do 2 to 5 pull-ups. If you're highly fit, in brackets, with regular training, you can do 6 to 10 plus pull-ups. So I told ChatGPT, I said, I'm 70 and I can do one set of 18 pull-ups or two sets of 14. How good is that? And ChatGPT replied, that's exceptionally good for any age, let alone 70. Your numbers put you well above the average for younger men, let alone seniors. Most fit 20 to 30-year-olds struggle to hit those reps in a single set. Your pull-up endurance and strength indicate 1, excellent muscular endurance in your back, shoulders, and arms. 2, strong grip strength, which tends to decline with age, but clearly isn't an issue for you. And 3, general overall fitness and body compositions, since pull-ups require a high strength to weight ratio. Honestly, this is elite level performance. Then ChatGPT asked me for advice. Do you follow a specific training routine or have you been doing pull-ups consistently over the years? So I noted the word consistently because ChatGPT understands through all its data that you can't achieve this kind of results without doing something consistently, which is what a habit is. So the simple habit, for me, of just doing 10 plus pull-ups twice a day, has put me into, elite level performance. Okay, so I'm talking about ability. A habit will help you have exceptional ability. Okay, so, twice a day, 4 days a week, that's all I do it. Okay, now, do I think of skipping? Okay, I'll tell you that every day for the last 5 years, I think of skipping, especially the evening one, because I go through pain, and it gets harder. Okay, it gets harder as I lose muscle and I put on weight with aging past 65. But after all these years, I will tell you that only now I'm beginning to train my mind to just go and do it, and train my body to adopt more efficient techniques. Okay. So that's H, habit, B, A, ability, and the B stands for BHAG. Okay, BHAG. Big, hairy, audacious goals. Now, good habits increase confidence, and that enables us or leads us to make greater choices. Okay. It's being willing to risk getting out of the comfort zone. And why am I willing to do that? Okay, because of the confidence that comes as I get better at doing things. Okay, and so that's how you go from good to great. And especially for those of us who have already achieved some success, we tend to sit back on our laurels, but when we don't go and do even more. Okay, so you want to go from good to great, you've got to set big, hairy, audacious goals. Now, let me say a bit about BHAGs, okay, big, hairy, audacious goals. And you will see why habit is related to this. Because number one, big BHAGs require sustained effort. Okay, big goals aren't achieved overnight. Breaking them down into daily habits ensures that you make continuous progress. So just by setting a BHAG forces you to adopt good habits. Number two, habits build momentum. Small repeated actions create what we call compound growth. Okay, the slight edge of growth, okay, making an impossible goal more achievable over time. So what looked like impossible becomes actually more achievable as you build this momentum. And number three, consistency beats motivation. Okay, motivation fades, but habits ensure that you keep moving forward even when challenges arise, of which, of course, there will be many if it's a big, hairy, audacious goal. As Jim Rohn says, motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. By focusing on the habit of excellence, repeated excellence in small things, okay, repeated excellence in small things, that's a habit. Okay, you develop the discipline, resilience, and of course, skill set necessary to achieve your big, hairy, audacious goals. So that's habit, ability, BHAG. The I is instinct. Okay, by instinct, I refer to automatic responses, or what is called unconscious competence. Now, you've heard of the psychological model called the 4 stages of competence, okay? And it describes how people progress from ignorance to mastery in any skill. And let me just refresh you on this. The stages are first unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know, okay? You lack skill and you lack awareness of your deficiencies. Then there's conscious incompetence. You realize what you don't know. So you start learning, but you make many mistakes as you're learning. Then the third stage is conscious competence. You can perform the skill, but must focus and think about it. It's not yet automatic. And then the last stage is unconscious competence. Your skill becomes second nature. You perform it effortlessly without much thought. So now, when you look at that, you understand how habits cause personal growth and skill development in various fields. Okay. You want to get to the stage of unconscious competence. So we've got habit, okay, H, A, ability, B, hacks, okay, I, instinct, and T is the word trust. Okay, and trust is the big one in the leadership business. Imagine if a leader just has to say, follow me. Okay, just say, follow me. How easy it is to grow this army, this organization. And people trust a leader because he's dependable. He does what he says, and he does what he doesn't say. He exceeds expectations. Why are you dependable? Well, you are dependable because of consistency and mastery that results from regular habits of deliberate practice. You become completely dependable. Okay, so I just want to conclude. I want to conclude by giving you some a piece of homework. Okay, if you want to start practicing good habits, here's a simple piece of homework. Okay, number one, know why. Okay, know why good habits are important by reading scroll 1 of the Greatest Salesman in the world. Okay, read that daily for 30 days. Okay. If you haven't read that before, you will enjoy reading it. If you read the scrolls before, I suggest you go back and do it daily for 30 days. Okay, so know why. Number 2, memorize the mnemonic habit that I just taught you. Okay, purpose of habits, ability, BHAGs, instinct, trust. Okay, then share these 5 points to 3 people this week. So as you share, you'll become ingrained in you, and that becomes, your motivation for creating habits that actually you put into action. Okay. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share about habits. And I was really excited about this because this is something that I'm working very hard on myself, especially as I'm past 70. I want to be creating bigger habits as I go into 80, into 90, and hopefully beyond that, to be still a leader in contribution.